Hi, this is Sherry Veronica. In this article in the Nation News, it is asking Christians to follow disciples' example. They're asking you to follow disciples from the Bible, their example. Now, when you look at the world of religion and you see that every now and again avatars come in and they teach you how to move from where you are to an evolutionary state. They're teaching you how to pull your consciousness upwards, and you don't usually like that. You don't usually take too well to the avatars who are sent to teach you how to be better people, and then they leave you with a couple commandments, and the one big one is still love your neighbor as you love yourself. You know that ain't working out. Now you know loving your neighbor as you love yourself, that is not working out for you. There's still wars. You don't even know what your neighbor is doing. You don't care what your neighbor is doing. Many people don't even know their neighbor's name. You don't have the phone. You don't. That one commandment. There were some key things that the last avatar that came in that you know of. I'm not talking about the Buddhas, because they're always looking for young children when they come in, especially in India. They'll go around in neighborhoods and they'll look and they'll watch for the Buddhas that are coming in, so that they can teach them some kind of way to be and whatever. It's done. It's still done. But the last avatar that we know of, the big one, was the Jesus Christ that came in. And you know what happened to him, and he was almost crying. Well, they said he was crying in the scriptures, and in certain Bibles it was said that he was very sorrowful. He could not wait to leave. Now you're saying to people to follow the disciples' examples, the ones that betrayed Jesus, the one that kissed Jesus for how many pieces of silver was that again? 30 pieces. And before the avatars, before they came in, it is said that the humans that were existing, they worshiped stars and moons, and they worshiped nature, like trees and the oceans, and things like that were being worshipped. Even a volcano is being worshipped, and fire breathing dragons seem to have had their place, because you can see on buildings, they have dragons on buildings. They have like aliens on some buildings, depicted on buildings. If you go to Washington D.C., you will see it. If you go to France, if you go to Paris, you will see all of the structures they have that are on buildings, and you can tell that there was a presence on earth that they revere. Not the disciples. The disciples were men, were humans, okay? And when this last avatar came, he talked about women's rights. He was very, very much into elevating women. He talked about equality. He talked about, there was no death. And when they were crying at a graveside and talking about someone had died, he was like, you guys really don't understand what you are a part of? When he came and he was leaving, he said, what I came and did, all of these miracles that I've done, you're going to do that and more. And more. And you're urging Christians to be like disciples? For real though? Is this, I might need to check my glasses here. Follow disciples' examples? You mean, didn't Peter betray Jesus? And then Jesus said, before the cock crows thrice, you're going to betray me how many times? Are you serious? So why would they follow examples of humans instead of following the example of the avatars that were sent by the gods? Why would you ask Christians to follow other people, other humans that are in the, because the disciples are in the same state that everybody else is in? They're learning. We're all learning, but they're not learning from themselves. They're learning from the tutorship of avatars that come in. Okay? So I reject this. I'm not a Christian. I think you know that already. But I will reject this if I were you, and I would place my consciousness in the hands of whatever created this whole experiment, yes, you should know. If you don't, you should know that whoever created it made a whole lot of mistakes, and they're watching to make sure that when they do it again, because in every time they have a certain cycle, it's destroyed and they start over again. I think you know that from reading the Bibles, the different Bibles. You know there's always part of the experimentation where they said, nah, let's get rid of this and start again. So in the meanwhile, it's up for you. It's for you to learn as much as you can and understand that whoever created you, they're learning still. Whoever is the creator of Earth and Earthling, still in the learning stages. Didn't know what it was doing. So for you to look at, if a creator, if someone who has creation technology, creation powers, that can say to in blackness, let there be light, and the sun appears. Let there be this, let there be that, and it appears. You're going to keep your eye on a disciple instead of keeping your eye on the creator? I mean, come on now. Really and truly, someone wrote this? Christians urge to follow disciples' example when the disciples betrayed the gods that came in? Ooh, okay. Well, for me, I defer to nature. I'm a nature lover, and I look at nature, and it guides me very, very. It is my redeemer. I love being in nature. I love being in the woods. Not everyone has an opportunity to live among trees and wild animals and nice wild animals, because I'm not afraid of the animals. Is the ones that are on the 2 feet. You have to worry about the 2-footers. You have to worry about. But for me, to think that someone would tell me to follow another person, another human being, that's absurd. It's absurd. Okay, if you must look to follow an example, follow the example of the avatars that came in to teach you that there's no death, that whatever you saw or is written of them doing, that you are going to be doing that and more. You're going to progress. You're going to be better and better and better and better as you go on. Okay, there are other worlds out there somewhere, and you're probably destined to be in one of them that will make you, live your dreams. Okay, do not follow no man. Do not bow down to no man. What they're saying to you here is you should bow down to the king and the queen and to people in parliament, that kind of stuff. Nah, no, don't do it. Do not do it. Okay? This is Sherry Veronica.